Hi there, this is Carrie Lindsay with Briar Patch Realty, and today I'm going to talk to you about pricing strategies. There are actually three pricing strategies, and one of them is the one that you should use. So I'm sure you've all heard the stories about people who put their house on the market and it never sold, and it expired with the listing agent, and they're interviewing new agents, and again, the house did not sell. And so that first strategy that I'm talking about is a very poor pricing strategy, and it's what we call pricing out of market. And what that means is that when the sellers met with their listing agent, they actually decided to overprice their property, meaning they priced it out of market. Nowadays, with everything being at buyers' fingertips, and the buyers probably have an agent too, everybody is doing research on what this property should actually sell or the market value of the property. And so anything priced over the market value of the property, buyers will actually just move on and they'll find some other house that meets their needs for a property that's priced correctly. So we definitely don't want to price out of market. The second one is what I call limbo land. And what that one is where you still overprice the property, but you're really close to being in the market. And we're seeing that a lot now, given that it's a seller's market and sellers are trying to get every single penny that they can get out of their property because they know that inventory is very low right now. And so what happens in that pricing strategy is maybe you just go $2,000 or $3,000 over what market value would be for your home. And so you do get a couple buyers to look at it, and it's a great property and you're not priced that much over. But what happens is buyers are like, well, I want to keep looking because this one's a little high. And so what happens is the buyer actually finds another property. And so even though you're getting showings, you're just enough over that buyers are moving on. And so again, what will happen is you'll have to lower that price, and the majority of the buyers that are going to look at your home are going to look at your home within the first 2 weeks. So it's very critical that you price your house properly at the very beginning, instead of saying, well, we'll price it up a little bit just so that we can come down. That's a horrible strategy, and ultimately sellers pay the price for that. So the third strategy is where I always tell my sellers we want to work, and that's where you price in market. And so when you work with me, I will do a comparative market analysis looking at homes that have sold in your subdivision and as far out as a mile of your home, because that's how far out an appraiser will go, and back up to a year. But obviously, the closer we can get to the time frame that we're selling, normally 90 days, that's what we'll look at. And we'll look at properties that are close to your property as possible. And that way we're getting an exact picture of what has been sold, because those are the most critical, what actually buyers paid. You can look at homes that you're in competition with, meaning that homes that are for sale, maybe your neighbor has a house that's for sale for $390, but if their house is overpriced, it doesn't mean that we should price your house at $390 just because your neighbor thinks that his house is worth $390. So we do a deep dive and we look at the properties that have sold. We look at properties that have expired. So again, talking about the poor pricing strategy where they had the property on the market and it didn't sell. And then we also look at what your competition is to see where they're priced as well. So the idea by pricing in market or at market value is that buyers know the value of your home. They've done their own research. Their agent has done their own research. And we know that the appraiser, when an offer is made on your property, will do their research. And we're all using very similar data to price your house at market value. And so pricing your house at market value in a market like we're in today, where it's a seller's market, you actually could drive your property over market value because of the multiple offer situation. So people know that your house is priced well. And when they're in a competition with another buyer, they're more willing to go over price than they would say if you do a poor pricing strategy, like pricing your house out of market to begin with. It's all psychological with buyers. Anyway, if you have any questions, if you want more information about pricing strategies, or if you want an in-house consultation, please reach out. CarrieLindsay@gmail.com or 913-638-7767. I'd love to help. Thanks. Have a great day.